Thought we'd have a look at how the troughs have fared through the winter and coming into bloom. This one here has just got Primula marginata form, one of the smaller forms. Also, if you look in, there's some Ramonda myconi. It's a very shallow trough that I'd built for something else and then decided to build it up and try the Primula. Primula's been in here for quite a long time. What I'll do, you can see the buds deep down there, as these flowers start to fade, I'll trim it right back and get whole new growth down there, and we can use all the top growth as cuttings. So this is in the trough area with the bonsai trees. Fit well in here. The ones I've left, I used to do more in bonsai, but fewer now. So all sorts of troughs. Here's more Primula marginata and these ones. So they're just starting to waken up, the troughs, some of them still looking in a winter state. Saxifrage, really struggling a wee bit there. It's not, need to feed this water and regenerate this one. This is one of the Oppositifolia hybrids. This is the one they call the Theodon. So I'll regenerate that, but it's amazing how they grow, and this is it coming out of winter, but after a bit of growth, all this growth, and into a couple of months' time it'll look really good again. A little Erinus trough, Erinus alpinus, just self-seeding now into the lump of limestone rock. And up here the Saxifraga marginata. Really one of the best in the garden. It really does well in any conditions. Here it's not suffered at all in the wet like some of them have. Because we've had a very long wet winter. So around the other uses for troughs, these down here, polished Irene fish boxes. So that's Corydalis Beth Evans and that one. And that's another nice pink form in there that just cloned up, and if I grow them in boxes for a few years I can get them to multiply up. Back off and down the front we can see some of the miniature troughs. Each one a little experiment to see what I can grow. Most of them were done as demonstrations at workshops to show people what you can do and how you can plant, but each one these have been planted up, and some of them for a long time. This one I think, as I recall, was made in about 2008 and just planted up, and it gets little treatment or little mollycoddling. It's just made to go away and work on its own. Gets an occasional water, very occasional liquid feed. This is another one of the same vintage. And then a few newer ones. So they really are tiny. If I put my hand in, you can see. Here's one here. So you can view them all the way around. So that's just little cement dishes with broken concrete as for the landscape. And as you can see, they work really well. Around here more the troughs in the raised beds. You can see beyond some of the frames Crocus pelastericus and Narcissus cyclaminius, some erythroniums coming out there, but this raised bed as well, it's just starting to waken up. Some more saxes. A nice sax there, and look at all the liverworts. Always a challenge, what do you do? So I will remove some of those. You can see if you go right in, the little splash pots down there, they're the plantlets. That's how they'll propagate and spread, so I'll probably spend a bit of time later today getting that out of there. So just more saxes. Again, most of the landscape here is mixed with, well, it's granite and broken concrete. So you can build wonderful little landscapes Down here this one's raised up with broken slate. And again, everything in its winter state, so the Raulia, a lot of dieback from the winter. But once the growth gets, all that new growth will perk up and it will grow really nicely. Interestingly, this trough with campanulas, they would normally be cut right back in the winter. But as we've had no real cold this winter, they're still a lot of green, so they're going to be quite nice this year. So just plenty more in of the troughs, as I say. Some of them looking a bit rough and not very pretty at the moment, but they're just wakening up. Beyond, of course, we've got the erythroniums and the erythronium plunges. So that's a wee quick walk around a few of the troughs and raised beds. And of course they frame nicely the view up into the rest of the garden.